It's been cold at Hutton in the last few days. Central heating's been in the blink, and it's been, well, a little cooler than normal. The drinks in the bar have been developing a little DIY ice, chipped apparently from the ceiling where icicles have been forming. The usual denizens of the station have been putting on a few extra layers, and there have been reports of treacherous conditions in the corridors. Floor mopping guy is taken to patrolling the halls with a portable hairdryer alongside his mop, and a bucket is full of grit to put down to prevent any zero-G magboot to black ice slippage incidents, with commanders closely resembling a passing maglev train after failing to stop. In Hutton administration offices, we had to send out a Moma's bog spaniel search party after a snowdrift developed against one of the walls. Concerns were that the apology officer, that was me, was lost, proved to be well founded after a tumbling bog spaniel unearthed a rather blue and chattering Hutton Radio presenter who was promptly revived with swift application of deep-fried Tunnock's tea cake. Oh, nice. Hot water bottle and a nice cup of hot chocolate. Back in the studio, wrapped up warm against the weather, and after blowing on their hands to get the circulation moving a little, this week's tech presses a button and through the chattering teeth says,
"Our mics are live." It's cold outside.
There's no kind of atmosphere.
We're not alone.
More or less.
Let me fly far away from here.
In second thoughts, it took us ages to actually get here, and Flossy's handed out some nice woolly jumpers, so how about we settle down and just do the news thing?
Cone of shame? Not for Alvin. It's a fashion statement.
Mental environmentalists descend on Zamka.
It's time for 69. The too hot, too messy machine trundles on.
War? What war? Fort Mugg is the bastion of muggery and stands undefeated.
The highs and lows of Hutton systems.
There was mild concern amongst truckers in the last few days after Alvin was admitted to the infirmary and was being kept under observation. It appears that whilst his handler Snoz was conveying Alvin back to the orbital for an inspection, their executive transport came under attack by a marauding pirate after all those tasty treats. Alvin, never one to hide behind security systems, upon docking, noticed that the pirates had managed to secure landing pad 2 and promptly activated his collar-mounted remlock, exited the ship at speed via the steps, and launched himself between the pads. The waiting Momus Bog Spaniel security detachment scrambled to keep up, but by the time they reached the pad, Alvin had already apprehended the pirates, torn holes in the seats of most of their flight suits, and had one pirate cornered by the refueling outlet, growling most menacingly. Unfortunately, a stray shot from a panicked pirate penetrated Alvin's protective suit and left him with a bit of a sore spot on one flank. Rumours are that on anyone else it would have left a hole clean through, but Alvin's tough. though he protested via his handler, Snoz, that he was fine and all he needed was a bit of a belly rub, and if no one minded very much he would be very partial to a sausage or two. He was taken to the infirmary as a precautionary measure. Always one to be one step ahead of the bleeding edge of fashion, he chose a fetching new collar style for his recuperation period, which has the added benefit of stopping people patting him on the head and saying, there, or biting at the damage to his flank, which he'd never do because he's such a good boy. Snoz is said to be coping well after the security incident and has undertaken to get some extra training in zero-G hand-to-hand combat operations from Rampage. Any reports about him saying silly hound under his breath are flatly denied. Anyone wanting to send well wishes, dog treats, get well soon cards, or more dog treats can do so via the Hutton sorting office, level 2 West Wing, near the gin distillery, where there's been a special postbox set up. Leowolf has increased security patrols around the orbital, and any approaching truckers have been given carte blanche to turn any approaching pirates into bounties with extreme prejudice. And lasers.
The Galactic Conference of Parties, or GCOP, got into full swing this week. Hosted over at Zamka platform in Jaws Pantazis, it brings together representatives of various galactic powers, mining and technical corporations and industries to discuss the problems of climate change. Back on Earth in the Sol system before the days of interstellar travel, and given that we only occupied one world that we were in the business of ruining, this conference was important. With the advent of space travel, the discovery of many thousands of Earth-like worlds, the speed at which we've populated and then polluted new worlds has accelerated tenfold, but not quite as quickly as the speed we've been able to terraform new ones. Which means that unless you're a local with no access to space travel, most of the problem gets swept under the carpet. There is a core of environmentalists, however, who feel that humanity has a duty not to ruin alien worlds, even if we stuck a flag in them and claimed them as ours. Bertha Berg, activist, eco-warrior and regular arrestee around the galaxy, gave what she felt was an inspiring talk about the exploitation of natural resources in other worlds, at which point the representative from the Empire sent in their personal protection team to cause a little trouble as they felt personally attacked regarding claims of their use of whole planets as their playground for digging up diamonds, gold and other precious metals purely for ostentatious purposes. Which, of course, is all actually true, but they don't like pushy eco-warriors shoving it down their throats in front of the cameras. A number of side meetings and resolutions are expected to be presented, and some statistical analysis of space dust, and whether the polluted space lanes are a direct result of the activities of one Alex Zuno in nearby Hazred sites, as well as some space vacuum quality studies of the areas around the Titans, working out whether residual green cloud dissipation is affecting native life on planets. As is usual, we fully expect no consensus to be achieved, with the vast majority of those attending representing the kinds of political interests and industrial lobby groups that make loads of money out of exploitation of natural resources, but Hutton are at least delighted to be playing host, not least of which, as the location Zamka was a major refinery operation, and showing off to all those companies can only be good for business. It has been suggested that a number of worlds in Hutton space be designated factional green belt and preserved undeveloped, where trees and wild grasslands can be protected. Rumours that it's because Alvin likes nice places for walkies are entirely untrue. Well, they're true. He does like walkies and trees, but he also has a conscience and doesn't want the next generation of Hutton truckers to grow up in the galaxy where they have to fly to Colonia to get away from the smog, or live in an agri-dome.
Week 69 of... Stop sniggering in the chat there. Week 69 of Too Hot Too Messy saw Commanders collectively pass the 110,000 mug deliveries. Numbers are still good, with a third bumper week of over 1,500 deliveries, and the 4-week average is still above 1,600. This week saw the 100,000th previously unvisited station added to the total from when we first started this madness, and 60,000 of them are through Too Hot Too Messy. Commander Chicks has managed to rack up 20,000 deliveries, with Waller 81 in second, pushing 17,000, with Dem third on 8,400. Well, it's a busy week for traffic to the orbital too, mostly from Too Hot Too Messy commanders refilling their holds, and so Operation Smack is in effect. There are cones out and lanes closed all along the orbital ring road. Repair crews are filling in some potholes they found in the fabric of space-time. Instead, everyone seems to be taking a direct route to Hutton and stopping off for a pee break. My advice would be to take a small ship so you'll have a better chance of getting a landing pad quickly, otherwise you'll have to hold it in. Or you could just go in the airlock and flush it. But if the traffic wombles see you, then you'll get a 50 credit fine for yellow ice littering. Below is a list of people you can pass the blame on to. Commander Palantir has been playing the game, really? Palantir? Well, I did actually see that Palantir has now got 52 mugs closely. I think 21 is on 59 mugs, a bit closing in there. Anyway, Palantir did the Hutton run in 1 hour, 24 minutes, 22 seconds, which is the fastest this week and is not far. I think it's 2 minutes off the total anyway. Myopic Eagle 3 did it in 1 hour, 25 minutes, 5 seconds. Talkie Mouse, 1 hour, 25:44. Norbert Patternowd, 1 hour, 26 minutes, 56 seconds. I think a pee break must have been involved in there. And Steve the Red on 1 hour, 27 minutes, 15 seconds. I think there were 2 pee breaks involved in that one. And Steve King, last of this week's Hutton runners, at 1 hour, 28 minutes, 19 seconds.
We are delighted to say that disaster has been averted over at Fort Mug, thanks to the sterling efforts of Hutton pilots, including Admiral King Hankey, Clone III, Ed 38, the Biscuiteer Wing, and local forces from friendly factions. The initial assault on Fort Mug was repelled, and incoming forces were sent home with their tails between their legs. There may have been a bit of overdoing it a tad, as reports have been coming in that we rather overshot the mark, and having won the war, have increased influence in the system from a paltry 17 and a bit % to the heady heights of the 50s in a matter of 24 hours. Hutton administration have sent an urgent whoa there to everyone, as without slamming the brakes on, it's entirely possible that Hotcall will enter an expansion state, and then Admiral King Hankey Clone III will need to go to one of the other local factions with an apology letter for straying on their grass. As for the Baden responsible for all the trouble, no, it isn't Nogbad the Bad. There's been no sign of them since the conflict started, though we're pretty sure that his claims of being able to take any system he wanted, and that Hutton hadn't got a clue how it all works, were the kind of BS that makes roses grow nicely. The Hot Call team and Fred Federico from Fort Mug will be keeping a beady eye on things locally over the next few days, and if there are any signs of trouble, the Mug signal will be lit once again. In the meantime, thank you once again to truckers and their allies for stepping into the breach and for not falling in up to their chins. We promise that the breach will be filled in by the pothole prevention team soon.
Things are going through somewhat of a festive party vibe in Hutton space this week, so expect little getting done through the hangovers, the unbridled sexual tension, and general frivolity. There are 6 systems on Alvin's report, 2 of which are particularly low and just one needing a well-aimed truckly boot up the posterior. More on those stories coming up. 36 Ofayuki is the bearer of the wooden spoon for 3 weeks in a row, again by a narrow margin of just 2 points. Losing 9 points in the week, it managed to out-plummet the next system by 2 whole points, coming to rest on 26. An election between 3rd and 4th is locking up a third of influence, but that could be over in just a couple of days with a landslide for the Soul Workers' Party, which would catapult them into 2nd. Ross 671's influence trajectory has taken on a brick-like quality, and it sank a further 7 points to land on 28, only outworsted by 36 Ofayuki. The good news is that all the influence is on the table, but with a closely packed field just below us, it won't be long before the jockeying turns into squabbling and our room for upward manoeuvre becomes limited. So get in there now and boost Hutton's fortunes. Recovering nicely until yesterday, Narences had made a quick recovery from its recent war, but another squabble down the table has dragged it back onto Alvin's report on 34. Only 15% of system influence is tied up, so there's still plenty of scope to do a bit of boosting. Barnard's star dropped a point to 35, but despite the parlous state of the other factions, their influence is all up for grabs, so let's kick them while they're down. Joining Barnard's star on 36 is hard to move Epsilon Indy, which lost 3 points in the week. Lastly, Hillpass Psi is bimbling along on 38. Civil unrest has broken out in Stein 2051, so if you fancy duffing up desperados, trifling with terrorists, or rousting some rebel rousers, head over and put a bit of stick about. At the overachieving end of the Hutton systems table, we have 7 of our systems above 60%, 3 of which are over 70. Priorities this week are, if you want to chuck something, boost Hutton in Ross 671, and if you want to shoot something, bring order to Stein 2051.
Wow.
There we are. Yeah, wow.
That was relatively seamless.
Yeah.
Relatively. Everything's relative.
I mean, there was a
Except
few
for last
little
week
seams,
even.
but they were so small you might have got away with them.
Minute.
They weren't seams. That was just what they call the nap of the cloth. That was just texture.
Texture.
Great, nice restaurant, actually. Lovely restaurant in Portland Square.
Texture. Anyway, have we had a Frontier live stream this week?
No, we haven't. Because it's been so long, I actually looked it up today. And the next one is scheduled for the 14th of December.
Scheduled.
Scheduled or scheduled.
Scheduled or scheduled or
Yes, or
scheduled.
I might be talking skit. Anyway, 14th of December, it's currently scheduled.
Yes.
There's no word at all.
I remember. No update on the update then?
Well, I was just about to say, the last live stream had us update 1701, I think it was, scheduled for the end of November. We've heard nothing. So the update on the update is there's no update. Correct.
We have a green room this week.
Oh,
We do have a green room this week, that's very true.
Yes.
we had a brown room last week.
Oh, God. Nasty.
Yes.
So, why don't, Mia, you let everyone know what they need to do to get into the green room?
You need to go into the green room and wait for us.
Yeah, but where is the green room?
It's ts.forthemug.com.org or something.
.com.
Which
Which is
ts.forthemug.com.
yes, which is not a website.
No, it's not a website. It's a TeamSpeak server is what it is.
A TeamSpeak server. That's right. You have to get TeamSpeak. You log into the server, ts.forthemug.com.
And then jump into the green room.
We have an update on the update.
Ooh.
So Commander
An update on the update.
Great. Commander Volcarius has an update saying that the update is unknown at the moment. So that's the update on the update, latest update.
So the update is that we don't know.
Correct.
Wasn't that where we were at the beginning? We didn't know.
We're better off.
Oh, no, we've had
we had.
another update since then.
Oh, but now it's official.
It's official, that one.
Right.
No, it's not. It's Volcarius.
It's definitely
Volcarius
maybe.
is pretty official.
Paul Krauser's official.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I trust Volcarius.
Well,
Do you?
that was your
I
first
do.
mistake.
Oh.
I know.
I did look, but I
Get
couldn't see.
yourself in some kind of trouble.
I'm not going to look anymore. I'm just going to rely on Volcarius.
Yeah.
I completely rely on Volcarius for all my update news.
Yeah, that explains a lot. Anyway. Yeah, most improved inmate.
Yes.
So, anything
space
else
news.
before we... Oh, da-da-da-da-da-da!
Da-da-da-da-da-da!
Space news!
Yeah.
We really need to
you
get
might
an
know this
intro
one,
for that.
Chips. You might
Nope.
do.
I thought this this perfect solar system story was the best space news of the week. So the TESS telescope, these from the acronym generated, the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, and the European Space Agency's KEOPS satellites have spotted a solar system. It's only about 100 light years away. And I think we should start this by, if Volcarius can find this system in the game for us, it's HD 110067. It's what NASA call it anyway. I don't know what Frontier call it. But we'd like to know Volcarius is 100 light years away, and it has got 6 Neptune-sized planets in it. And all the planets have sort of gone into harmonics. So from the evidence, the scientists at NASA and ESA have surmised that this solar system is basically untouched since it formed, and it formed 12 billion years ago. As we know, that's a fairly large portion of the age of the universe.
Yeah, 13.8 billion for the age of the universe, isn't it?
Well, plus or minus a few million years. Yeah. So
it's old.
Given that it took life on a sort of 3 billion years to get out of short pants. This thing's been, all right, they're Neptune-sized planets, so it's unlike it, but they could have satellites that we can't detect yet.
What kind of star is it? Does it say what class it is?
I thought
because if it's been burning for 12 billion years, I would think.
Well, it's likely to be a red dwarf.
I was thinking that red or a brown dwarf.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a musical piece coming up in a second, but there's a chance, given that these things have been around so long, that they could harbour some kind of life somewhere.
Somehow.
What I thought was really cool with this is because the planets have gone into this sort of harmonic, it's a bit like Jupiter and Saturn, in a 5-2 harmonic. They added sort of a tune to each planet, and you get sort of a little Philip Glass style composition. Can you press the button?
Yes, of course.
Will it work?
Should do.
Oh, look at that! I'll say it gets old pretty quickly. But,
it's not long, though.
That's most things by Philip Glass. It's an acquired taste.
It's only 33 seconds long.
Yes, El Psycho says no results in the Galnet. No, but most things have 2 names. So... No, El Psycho's got the right designation there, Volcarius. But what you tend to find is you have to go into one of the university cataloguing sites and then work back and find it. Because very few of the frontier designations.
Is it just me, or have we seen that image before?
Probably. They'll pull out...
It's the one that made fun out of because it's a red star with white...
Shining white light on a blue planet.
Yeah.
But then showing red light on the other side of the blue planet. Yeah.
Well, it is the BBC.
Yes,
it says NASA in the corner.
No, I know, but the BBC is the story, so they've done the story, so they would just pulled an old graphic up.
From last week.
Uneducated heathens.
Yes. How dare they?
Well, what do you expect from Oxbridge?
A little bit more than that, really.
So anyway, you can do all the tit and fart stories now, and
well, I mean, right? Well, is this a tit and fart story? There's no tits and no farts in the stories this week.
I see the word beaver and.
Before we move on to the next story, I just got to say, Little Grey said he's talking to a music producer in regards to the space news theme.
Ooh. Is it Tether Hall?
Ooh.
Now, I don't know about you lot, but I think we should disregard the other space news and talk about that for a bit.
Is it dynamic and exciting?
Well, it's going to be difficult. Let's assume Little Grey's going to come in the green room later. He can tell us all about it.
Yeah,
rather than
Actually, that's a really good idea.
Type it into the chat. Right, hold that thought, Little Grey.
Yeah.
And it's got to be better than that music you just heard. Well, actually, it could be based on that music.
Could be that music.
It could be a remix of that music.
I couldn't listen to that every week.
It'd just be that music. So anyway,
Yes.
Firefly have launched a crybaby coffee can satellite.
Firefly.
Yeah. So
The series?
Firefly Aerospace
Ah.
have got this thing. It's scheduled for December, and it's a Lockheed Martin space satellite thing. It's an electronically steerable antenna payload. I don't know what this is about. It's a small satellite. The company say that they're going to launch it. It's a small satellite, £300. So, yeah, 130 kilos. It's pretty heavy. It's heavy as a big person.
Shaped like a box.
Shaped like a box. It looks like a washing machine.
Without the cover.
I don't know how an electronically steerable antenna works, but anyway. So apparently it was integrated on a Hutton Orbital Nebula bus. Whatever the fuck one of those is. They don't have moving parts and can generate multiple beams simultaneously. Nice. And growing demand for broadband communication applications. So if you're on the plane and you're using the Wi-Fi, these things will be providing your Wi-Fi signal via satellite. So that's quite interesting. They're going to calibrate it, turn the antenna faster than it's been possible before. Great. Specifically designed for mission speed and space applications. So they were going to
Question.
Yes.
Did you pre-read this, or are you just reading it now?
I'm kind of reading it now. I did have a pre-read.
You don't say.
Well, get this. They're going to launch. They've got other launches, including Pony Express 2, to demonstrate mesh networking across satellites. Again, whatever the fuck that means. And a tactical. And back true to form.
I wish Radio
Lockheed
4
Martin,
was a bit more like this.
Lockheed Martin, true to form, tactical satellite which will demonstrate on-orbit processing, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. So they're steering themselves back towards a kind of weapons of war kind of thing. So
when you go to a meeting or a conference and somebody just reads the slide on the screen and you want to...
these assholes aren't going to read it.
You want to throw whatever, like your iPad or your phone or your shoe, whatever you've got to hand.
Yeah,
you
well,
just
you
want to
can't,
throw it
I'm
out.
over the internet, you can't do that.
Unless it's Chris Whitty, of course, and then you want him to say, next slide, please.
Yes, next slide, please. Yes.
Speaking of next...
So yeah, they put this wee box up. It's an aerial. You can fire a beam up and it can fire a beam out in a different direction, or multiple beams.
Is it like it's a squarial then?
It's a cube aerial.
A cubicle. Can we get like football and stuff on this?
Or on the plane, yeah. If you're on the plane, it can send a lot of football.
I don't do planes.
Oh well, that's it. You don't need it then.
Oh, right. Well, dumb story then.
It's not relevant to chicks, so it's useless.
It's terrible.
Point. But look at it.
It looks like somebody's taken the skin off a fridge and stuck a solar panel on it.
Yeah, I would have said it's more akin to a washing machine with the skin off, but yeah.
That looks like a cash machine on the top. In case you're stuck. In case you're caught short in space and need a fiver for a taxi home.
This next article, this has got
you said that.
Full moon and a flash of Beaver. Are we going in the right direction here?
Yeah.
So, I refuse my earlier point.
Yeah, I mean, there are...
Is this actually space news? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it is.
It's on space.com. Full Beaver moon.
Wow,
so it's
okay.
more than a flash of Beaver. You get to see the whole Beaver.
Well, you did. You might have 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Oh, are we late? Oh.
Well,
it's very visible tonight.
Yeah, it was.
And I wanted to see Beaver.
You can still see beaver. You won't see the whole beaver, but you'll definitely get a flash of it. That's why I said a flash of beaver. Have a look out your window, you'll see it. I have no idea why it's called a beaver moon.
No, because that's November.
Yeah, what's that going to be, beaver? Oh, beavers are retreating into dens for the winter, it says. So they looked at the sky and they went, that's a November full moon, guys. Everybody inside?
It's a little bit early for me. The big building to my left's in the way. But I can see Jupiter.
Yeah. Anyway, beavers don't live in dens. They live in lodges, don't they?
Travel lodges.
No, beaver lodges.
I think they were more Premier Inn sort of animals myself.
Is it just me, or has that image been photo-manipulated to make the moon look a lot bigger than it actually is?
I don't know. That's a plane in front of it. Down at the bottom right-hand corner.
Well, it depends.
An aerial plane.
If you take
Depends
it on a
how
very
zoomed in,
long
yeah.
lens, you can get a nice big moon like that.
I got a nice picture of it a few nights ago.
But they often
You should
they
just
often
put my
are
phone on a
manipulated.
tripod and take a picture out the window. It's not as clear as that, but yeah, it'll look pretty big when I zoomed it up. But yeah, there's an aeroplane in front of you there down in the bottom right. I can't work out whether the sea of Trink, that's... Yeah, it was a bit of grit over the sea of Trinkability. I've scraped it off, but it's fine. But yeah, so there you are.
Yeah.
All the beavers are getting into hibernation.
Well, I must admit, it's the longest beaver gag we've had for in a while, so...
We don't
Yeah.
get much beaver.
You speak for yourself.
Oh, there's Alcatraz.
It's wall-to-wall beavers round here.
So, next up.
You know it. Do you know? You can always tell when a beaver's been around. Because the trees look like little pencils sticking out the ground. 'Cause when they fell trees, they.
Sorry, I was expecting a joke.
I was expecting a joke, yeah.
No, this is space news, not
We should have known better.
tit and fart news.
No, it's
There's been
beaver
no tits
news.
or farts. That was beaver news. We're on chopper news now.
Chopper. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
That's
page
when-
not found.
Oh!
They
I found the page.
they took it away.
Excellent.
I found the page.
That's definitely a scene.
So they're building the next generation of Ingenuity helicopters because the wee one on Mars was so successful. They've like, get us more of those. So it looks like they're updating it. They're doing like a different kind of setup with the rotors and things like that, and it looks like it might be bigger. But I know the guy who was actually flying it had bought a wee logbook, like pilots use for their planes and things like that. He'd bought one of them and he thought, this will be fun. I'll put a couple of wee entries in and we can store it away and all that. And I think he's on his second or third logbook now because they thought they would get about 2 flights out of this thing and then it would just die and break. And that hasn't happened. And they've been able to fly it a lot longer and a lot further than they ever expected to. So they're they're making the next generation of them to go, well, probably to Mars.
Well, not. Yeah, they're not going to fly to Mars. Yeah,
No, it's not going to fly to Mars under its own power. It's going to fly to Mars, just not under its own power.
It'll be
battery.
taken to Mars, and then it'll be allowed to fly within the atmosphere of Mars. Wait a minute, Mars does.
They're going to send one to. Is it one of Jupiter's moons or Saturn's moons? It's got a proper thick atmosphere. They reckon it'll be great to fly in it.
It was Titan.
I was going to say,
Saturn.
Yeah.
Mars doesn't have
Methane.
much of an atmosphere, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It's cold outside as well.
It's one of the challenges is that the atmosphere's so thin that the blades have to spin really, really quickly to get any lift, and it has to be very light.
Right.
So challenge accepted. They're engineers. Come on.
Yeah, they've done it.
Yeah, no, it's been a
But if they go to,
it's been a flyaway success.
Well, one of the things that we're talking about for Titan as well is something like a dirigible. You can just send it there and just inflate it and let it float about and things like that. But possibly a helicopter design as well.
Well, I knew it is bloody cold on Titan, so.
Yeah. Yeah, frozen methane lakes and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Mare Kraken? What are they've named on the lakes?
Little Grey says, "LOL, Red Dwarf reference." I'm guessing you didn't catch the intro, Little Grey.
It was like the first 2 minutes of the show. Oh well.
That worked.
harder.
Yep,
Yeah.
must try harder. Do we have a word of the week?
Oh, word of the week. Shit, back to the script. Yes, we do have a word of the week.
There's
Word
a
of the week.
script. Where?
Yeah.
There's a
Word of the
script.
week is Fae.
Fae. And what does that mean?
F-I-E. An expression of outrage, fury, or repulsion.
And can you use it in a sentence, please?
I certainly can. Fae, shouted Flossy when she saw the state of Cubicle 3. That could do with a bit of bleach and some blue loo.
Fae.
Fae.
There you go. And for Volcarius, the word is on the screen.
Yes, in the news headline.
Shouldn't that be pie?
For your convenience.
No, I checked the spell. I checked the pronunciation guide in the book.
Now that was not a sound effect.
That was not a sound effect. Well, it was. But it wasn't generated. Didn't come off of the soundboard.
I pressed no buttons.
Yeah.
An expression of outrage,
What did you do
fury,
then?
or repulsion.
Yeah.
It was definitely
chicks
repulsion.
have farted.
Oh, excuse me. Hang on a minute.
You saying it was Flossy?
One who smelt it dealt it.
Oh, it was Flossy then. Anyway.
Why do
He
you
is
think?
a cheeky sod, isn't he?
Why do you think I'm sitting here in a REM lock?
I thought you were sitting there with a rim block. Anyway.
Oh, God.
Anyway, what do you call an anteater with a sister called Beth?
Jeff.
Reginald.
Yes! Jeff the Aardvark, well done. Aardvark!
Aardvark.
Aardvark!
Oh, my God. Flossy, are you ready?
Yes. I think so.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. There were no new CGs last week, so nothing there. This week we have 2 new CGs. Nakato Kane Delivery Initiative in Tyanisla and Protect Deliveries in Tyanisla. Councillor Nakato Kane has requested deliveries to the Tyanisla system in protest against the Anti-Xeno Defence Pact. Pilots are asked to deliver shipments of hazardous environment suits, microcontrollers and titanium to Brett High. The campaign was personally arranged by Councillor Nakato Kane, the representative for Tyanisla in the Alliance Assembly. Speaking to the Old World's Gazette, Kane stated, "I aim to prove that the Alliance's military fleet is not as dependent upon serious cooperation as many believe. This campaign demonstrates our capability to stockpile vital resources for the Alliance Defence Force. And we have plenty of researchers, mechanics and manufacturers ready to develop our own defences against the Thargoids. It's clear to me that Li Yongrui never intended to honour his anti-Xeno commitments. I've seen evidence of serious, negotiating favourable contracts with allied tech and military corporations, their special access to the Alliance's markets, plus the endorsement of our Prime Minister, have provided them with unfair leverage. The true cost of the pact has yet to be revealed, but you can bet that Allied citizens will pay the price while Sirius's profits soar." As an extra incentive for participants, Lakon Spaceways has agreed to offer discounts on Allied anti-Xeno vessels if the campaign ends successfully. The discounts will be based on the campaign tier reached. Tier 1, 10% discount on Chieftain. Tier 2, 10% discount on Challenger. Tier 3, 10% discount on Crusader. And Tier 4, 20% discount on the Alliance Chieftain Challenger and Crusader. These rewards are inclusive but not cumulative, as the potential 20% discount would replace the 10% offered at lower tiers. The discounted price will be available at Tierney's shipyards only. Discounts will be available until 21st of December. The Alliance Rapid Reaction Corps, which is hosting the initiative, will protect participants by redeeming bounty vouchers for the destruction of any wanted ships. The campaign begins on the 30th of November, will run for 1 week, and if the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before delivering hazardous environment suits, microcontrollers and titanium, or handing in bounty vouchers to Brett High in the Tierney system. Only bounty vouchers handed in after signing up will count towards your personal contribution total. The bounty vouchers must have been awarded by either the system's controlling faction or the major faction aligned with the system controller. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
And now we go over to Beetlejude and Witherspoon with the Galnet News Digest.
Galnet News Digest, 30th of November 3309. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, President-elect Winters promises the Federation a zombie apocalypse. And some cheap anti-Xeno ships are on offer from Lakon, if enough people show their displeasure for Sirius.
President-elect Felicia Winters plans to create a zombie apocalypse in the Federation, according to Vox Galactica correspondent Jade Sunderland. Tens of thousands of Federal citizens have been rescued from the Thargoid Titans, along with many more from Imperial, Alliance and Independent systems. All returnees have been kept under strict but comfortable quarantine since their rescue due to concerns about what changes might have been made to them while kept captive aboard the 8 Thargoid Titan hive ships. If the Thargoids' plan is to infect humanity with the equivalent of the mycoid virus, then those rescued from the hive ships would be ideal carriers of the plague. Or perhaps they have been hypnotised with a wake word used by the Thargoids to turn them into a 5th column of Thargoid-controlled zombie fighters to attack humanity's infrastructure from within. Distinct physiological effects on the former captives as a result of their prolonged imprisonment have been noted by physicians, including Dr. Zoe Terentia of Commodino Medipure. Consequently, no one can claim the returnees are unaffected by their time in captivity. Concern has been growing about the amount of space in secure hospitals taken up by those rescued from the Titans, but only President-elect Winters is reported to have plans to release the Thargoid Titan returnees into the community. Releasing these patients will be opening a Pandora's box. Once they have had direct physical contact with other Federal citizens, who can say what terrible disease may rip through the population? Who can say with any certainty that we will not be confronted by a horde of zombie fighters with caustic goop running down their faces, and that we won't have to fight for our lives? President Winters risks catastrophe if she follows through with this plan.
Councillor Nakasu Kane is offering rewards for helping the Alliance prove it can manage without the Sirius Corporation. Kane is a stiff opponent of the Prime Minister's Defence Pact with the Sirius Corporation, a pact that has cost the Alliance dearly in return for almost no benefit. Her protest, in her own Tierney system, is intended to demonstrate that the Alliance doesn't need Sirius's rather ineffectual supply of spare parts and upgrades. Kane has asked pilots to deliver hazardous environment suits, microcontrollers and titanium to Brett High, where they'll be stockpiled for use by the Alliance Defence Force. Councillor Kane asserts that Sirius is using the Defence Pact to get unfair access to Alliance markets, while failing to deliver any direct defence capability against the Thargoids. The Sirius Corporation has notably not lost a single megaship in the war against the Thargoids, having been very careful to always remain one system distant from any fighting. Prime Minister Mann has not commented on Councillor Kane's publicity stunt, but his office reminded journalists that a review of the Defence Pact is underway, and that its findings should not be prejudged. Kane initially planned to offer 5% and 10% discounts on some of Lacon's anti-Xeno ships as a reward for a successful outcome for her campaign. But following an outcry that equal discounts are already available at Lacon Spaceways Central in Alioth, and at Jameson Memorial in Shinrarta Desra, and that the Sirius Corporation offers more generous discounts on all ships, she's increased the potential rewards with up to 20% off the purchase price of the Alliance Chieftain, Challenger and Crusader at all shipyards in Tionisla if the campaign goes well for the 2 weeks following its conclusion. A lower purchase price means a lower rebuy, so if you're light in the wallet department, or if you really don't like Sirius muscling in on Alliance space, then head on over to Tionisla and either deliver those goods or turn in some bounties.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.
Thank you, Beetlejude and Witherspoon. So next up, we have the green room.
We do have the green room. Is anybody in the green room?
We have Volcarius, Aiden and Little Grey in the green room.
Awesome!
Shall we bring them down to the on-air room?
Yeah, let's just drag them in here.
Yeah, let's just drag them down
here.
here. Yeah. Alright, let me do that now.
Chicks has warmed up these farts.
There we go.
Hiya!
Hello!
Hello.
Don't talk.
Don't all reply at once.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, well, if you must.
Oh no, there he is.
There they are.
Oh, for the mug.
For the mug!
The mug.
So,
Ta-ra.
Volcarius, can you do your magic thingy?
No.
What
Does Jim have your magic
do you mean,
thingy?
no? We're talking about the scheduler for who talks to who.
Yeah, the Volcarius's magic thingy. We may just have to wing it.
Jesus, let's not wing it.
I could. I can't really be asked to do it though. Just wing it.
Alright, just
Oh,
wing
fair
it.
enough. Yeah, okay, winging it we are.
Okie dokie. Who wants to go first then?
I'll go first. Who am I
Okay.
talking
Anyone you want to.
to? Crap, I can't see the list. Hold on a second. Who's at the start of the list?
We got Volcarius, Aiden, and Little Grey.
Oh, Volcarius is right in at the front there. Right, Volcarius, what have you been up to? Any Spire news this week?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy month for that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I'd say I'm.
Speaking of months, congratulations on Most Improved Inmate this month.
Oh, for Christ! Look, this is the kind of look. I could have sent you an update this week. Exactly. I could have sent you an update this week, but I thought you weren't really. You don't really take anything I put seriously, so.
We take it all seriously. It's in the news, you know.
And some of it's in the credits.
Yeah. I mean, the hard part for me is translating it from Green Crayon.
This is what I mean. You see.
So
yeah,
with the tit and fart news.
There were no tits or farts. There'll be tits and farts next week. Anyway, you carry on.
It's been a fairly crazy month. I'd say I'm both quanked and ramfeazled.
I bet you are.
Whatever the difference between those words, I don't remember.
I don't remember. I remember both words. I don't remember anything about the difference between them. But yeah, so
go on.
It's been all go with these spires, then, hasn't it?
Yeah, I did tell you we were going to drop Tyrannus.
Yes.
So Frontier might have been fudging the spire difficulty a bit on us, but we did it.
Yeah.
I know I said it would be a couple of weeks. It was 3 in the end.
But that was what's suspected interference from the gods.
Yeah, well, so the with journal reports of what's the actual the over completion.
Yes.
It was absolutely crazy before. So on the week prior to that, Tyrannus was like at 200%, Indra at 300%. Part of the problem, Frontier looked at that and said, "Oh well, let's just scale it down." They calculated it. I'm quite sure they probably did it perfectly.
Yeah.
But of course, the thing is, commanders also see that, and they also respond to that, and they thought, "Oh well, we're too many here. Let's go and redistribute elsewhere and screw everything up." I don't blame anyone though. So.
No.
So it did take a lot of commanders in the end. They increased it twice. Absolutely massive turnout at the spires in the terrace. Yeah. Also, everyone keeping the alerts away while we were preparing those the final 15% payloads, as we've been calling them.
What does all this mean?
Well, what is all what? So, which thing in particular?
Well, that last 5 minutes of chat.
They've cornered the maelstrom.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay. So I'll if I rewind a bit. So spires.
You also have to take into account Chicks is not usually here on a green room day.
Oh,
this will be his first one in a while.
That's true. He hasn't. That's true.
I haven't missed a green room all year.
Well, the green room missed you.
It's this myth that Amelia peddles from time to time that I don't do green rooms, and I've been at every single one this year because the last one was in November as well, on the 2nd.
That was a year ago.
No, it was
it's 4 weeks ago.
The last one was postponed a week, wasn't it?
I said at the time we were going to have 2 in November, and this is the 2nd.
So
anyway,
what's going
fake
on?
News.
What's going on with all this
fake
stuff?
News
I just
is better than
mentioned?
tit and fart news, anyway. Go on.
The spires. If you hit the spire sites, by which we mean kills, authoress kills at the spire, presumably interceptor kills when they come in, and sabotage missions, which you can get from the megaships.
Yep.
It progresses the outermost 10 systems. The galaxy map's a little bit cryptic here. It says peripheral systems, but it means the outermost 10. And it gives you a percentage progress. So not normal actions which are against the strength of the system. It's a percentage. So
are these systems that are controlled by the Tharg or something?
It's controlled or alert. And technically, we don't know invasion because there weren't any at the time, but presumably invasion as well.
Right.
So it helps all of those systems, like the outer 10. And that does actually create a bit of a strategic game, where you have to kind of manage which 10 are going to be the outermost next week by paying attention to who's attacking whom. So. So that's what that does. That percentage is what moves the really, really strong systems. Alerts, that's when a control system attacks one of our system, it places an alert there, which of course increases the number of systems, moves the periphery out, and keeping them all. We need them kept away while we're doing the attack. So as always, thank you, post-disaster evacuation service and Operation IDA. It's been brilliant.
Or is it IDA?
I think we've established it's IDA. It's not all it's only the I's capital.
Unless it actually is IDA.
My anti-IDA would disagree.
And this week, despite Frontier also increasing the system strengths as well, just last week in fact. So the previous increases were the Spire difficulty. They've now also upped the system difficulty as well.
Of course they have.
And like the unpopulated alerts went up at 150% in some places. But despite that, we've got Ligong Maelstrom down to its last few now.
Oh.
It's in the same position Tyrannus was when it got executed, pretty much. So, and Ligong's easier and arguably should have been done first. But either way, all we need is commanders to hit those spires, the Ligong spires. One of them's at Ariat Sector YE-RB4-3. The other one's easier to remember. It's HIP 9180. So those two. Doesn't matter which you use. You can whichever has more commanders. Then whenever that's done, this week, next week, no rush. As soon as the spies are clear, we'll take care of the final strikes.
Nice.
So if you like, on behalf of Imperial Navy Intervention and Rescue, we've got you covered. Well, I mean, unless Frontier are fudging the numbers again, and
in which
we don't
case,
have you covered, but an attempt will be made.
If they're fudging the numbers, nobody's got anybody covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sounds very exciting.
Yeah, so you asked about electronically steerable antennas.
Yes.
They basically have a load of little feeds on them, and if you change the how much watts you send to each one, you can change the shape of the beam.
This is your day. This is your day job, isn't it?
It's adjacent to that. Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
We manufacture the receiving end of said beam, but in any case, the sorts of things you can do with that. Yes, you can steer it into a different direction, but even better than that, which the article didn't tell you, is you can change the shape of the energy lobe. You can match the shape of a country, for example.
Ooh, so you could say something.
So you can. Yeah, you can send a signal that Japan can receive and Korea can't, for example.
Yeah.
Is this sort of narrow spot and wide spot?
It's like having lots of little spots, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
I understand a lot better now. Exciting stuff.
Yeah. Well, hope this everything bodes well this week, and for that for Ligon, it's going to be Ligon. There's a pun for you to use.
Yes.
Oh, we can't. No, we do that. No, can't make that. Don't know. No, doesn't. No, can't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't work for Liger or Tygon. It's as if it's half lion and half lion. We had G in the middle.
No. Lie gone, as in it's gone. It's disappeared.
Oh, you've ruined it. You've ruined it now.
You had to explain it.
I was thinking of Ligers and Tygons.
You know what they say about all the best jokes.
Not on this show.
Can you explain?
Oh, God.
Oh, dear. Do you want to cut your losses? Is it time?
Well, unless you want a fake story.
Oh, if you get a fake story, send it. Don't waste it by telling us the green room.
No, it doesn't work if I send it. I have to say it.
All right, okay, carry on.
I walked up to the bar to order a sort of Doc and Doris. Just a small one, so we don't tope enough to go crapulous.
Yes.
And some scaramouche blatteroon was causing a kerfuffle and fying a load of humbuggery about not being a sting bum and getting a proper one.
Oh, no.
Well, it turned out that he just gets wamblecropped off one drop, so his so-called vodka was just a double lemonade and water.
Oh, right, you probably spewed that up shouting Gardy Lou.
I love how you bring this is weeks and weeks and weeks of study has accumulated to produce this perfect story.
It's like multi-concentrated nonsense.
And yet I still don't really know how to use Peristoronic, and I don't think I've ever used Prickmadainty.
There's a relief.
Oh, that tickled Flossy.
So actually, Prickmadainty describes Flossy very well. It's an overly nice person.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I might use Snollygoasters next week. I've seen it printed.
Oh, I would ask you. See, if I ask you what it means, it'll become Grimmalkin, like an extra one that wasn't the actual word of the week. So.
Yeah, it's printed on the front of the actual book. So I might just look that one up and use that next week. Yeah, let's do that.
But yeah, in any case, so I thought you'd like to hear about the what we're doing.
Yes, that's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Well, it all sounded very interesting. I'm just none the wiser.
I am, and I've only been following it through Vulcarius's updates.
I told you, Vulcarius's updates. It's just completely
So
wrong.
what happened? So we're running the maelstroms out of systems, and when they got none left, that means they can't attack anymore.
Yeah.
So at the moment they just sit there and be titans in a big cloud. But the not being able to attack anymore, that takes a lot of burden off of a lot of commanders. So.
Yeah, I've read up in Snollygoster. I'm using that next week. Or Smatch It, I'm not sure yet.
Bob
Anyway.
Smatch It.
I better quit
Bob
before he
Smatch It.
reads the whole book. So thank you all for the show. Hail the Empress for the mug.
For the mug.
Now.
Chicks, do you want to go next?
I'll do the next one.
Okay. Who are you going to pick to talk to?
Because I'm likely to get interdicted. I don't know. I'll Aiden. Who's on the list?
Aiden
I'll do Aiden.
or Little
Somebody
Grey?
do Little Grey.
All right. Flossy, do you want to do Little Grey?
Yeah, can do.
But I do have a question for Little Grey.
All right.
And then you can bombard him with all the questions you like. Little Grey, you there?
Am I doing that now?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if chicks should go. Right, okay. Hello, Little Grey. How have you been? Hello, are you there?
I'm here. What?
Oh, there you are. How's your time been? How are you doing? Hello? How are you doing? Hang on.
We seem to be suffering some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Please stand by.
Am I the only one that can hear a high-pitched whining in my left ear?
Yep.
Okay.
That's not. That's
I'm going to get some of Vulcarius's special medicine.
Okay, Chicks, you go with talk to Aiden first because Little Grey's having a little bit of technical difficulty.
Yeah, I've just got docking permission, so it's unlikely anything's gonna happen. I will keep an ear out for scavs. Commander Aiden, how are you, sir? He's not there either. Oh, there he is.
I am.
There's a little pale blue sign of life.
Well, no, I was just going with the dramatic pause.
Yeah.
It's not as good as my dramatic pause.
Big claws, are they? Big and hairy.
Well, I'm not. I have no need to be in a competition about pauses.
Are you on push to talk?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you having coordination problems?
No, I just use a different button in TeamSpeak than I do for everything else.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
what have you been
other
up
than
to?
Well, last weekend I was down in southwest Britain, and I actually saw an overlight.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Was he? Every photograph, every picture I see of Overlight is either at a rock concert or drinking something evil looking.
I
Or
saw one
both.
where he was unconscious.
Exactly. There's after.
Well, I caught up with him the day after him and
Mrs.
Mrs. O had been off day drinking. So And well, the night before, I'd been off at the wider department Christmas do, so I think both of us were just generally going, we'll just have large amounts of food. And but yeah, so that was good. The GWR, well, thank you very much for paying for half of my.
Yeah, we've just had one of those.
So yeah, I got
on Wednesday.
Yeah, I got 35. I got half my. I got the cost of my outbound ticket back.
Must make you wonder how they make any money.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's almost like a gamble, isn't it? It's like, we'll bet you your fare, which we've inflated to cover our potential losses, and we'll bet you that we won't have to pay you any of it back. And if you're late and your evening is in disarray, you've won.
Yeah, well, I mean, it did actually work out in our favour in that I arrived Bristol Templemeads 5 minutes before he did, so I went, well, what's this? I'm not going to schlep over to the, get lost on the way to my hotel when I have somebody who has worked in the area and knows it quite well to provide guidance.
Yeah, I
So
was
met
in.
up with them at the
It was about this time last year. I was in North Britain, and the train we were on was cancelled. So it was all in chaos and disarray, and there was a strike, and the weather, and all the rest of it. So I was going from Glasgow Central, and we got on an earlier train, and then we got a full refund, even though we arrived in London before the train we were booked on. Should have got there. So it was like, yes, win.
Yeah, very
and there were
much
two
so.
additional carriages had been put on, which had no reservations, and nobody was in them. It's brilliant. We should do more of this. Yeah.
Was that the time you met me for coffee?
Yeah.
And we watched the Street Artists.
No, it was that was the previous time, but it was the time where I said, I'm going to be early and I won't be able to.
Yeah.
Meet up with you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, don't really make any money. Anyway.
But
what else
yeah,
have you been
so
up to? Have you been playing in the universe at all, in the galaxy?
Well, after last week's show, I went, ooh, there's some shooting to be done. I shall go and shoot things.
I think I saw you come online a few days ago, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Thursday last week.
Oh, right, okay.
So I and Carth went off and shot a lot of things and ended up catching the last combat zone before the war ended.
In Narnia?
In Narnia, yeah.
Yeah, that was over fairly quickly after the show.
Yep. Both Carth and I got Scott. We finished the combat zone, sent off for our shuttles, and they didn't turn up.
No.
So,
you're on a ground combat zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were generally just going, ooh, shall we just blow things up? Well, yes. We have grade 5 rocket launchers. Of course we're going to blow things up.
What were 4? I even saw that Palantir had come online this week. I was slightly amazed. That's
good grief.
I think that's twice this year. Mind you, still, it's only November.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Maybe he just needs to get some cobwebs off of the off of his joystick.
Yes.
Well,
I love the uncomfortable silence that came right after that comment.
I wasn't getting involved.
I was just.
We know what you were just in.
The equipment to use to play his game.
Oh, right.
Of course.
Yeah, we knew that.
I mean, everybody, needs something, where you can put hands on your throttle and your stick.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially when you're playing Elite. So, it's
perfectly natural.
Perfectly natural.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I've not really been doing much. Realistically, for the mug from me.
For the mug.
For that mug. Little Grey, you ready?
Come on, Little Grey must be. He's a tech guy. He's a techie
Yay.
guy.
I am.
There you
Hey.
I found
That's
the
why
push
nothing
to
works.
talk button.
Okay then. So,
go. You mean you're just
How-
pressing every button on the keyboard?
Or do you mean that you actually reprogrammed the push to talk?
No, I am being a heathen and I am on my mobile because I couldn't be bothered to turn on my computer, which suggests I have been too lazy to play it, or rather I've just had a bit of a break this month, so I've not really played a lot at all.
So you
But
mean you
the,
turned
CG
it off, but you were too lazy to turn it back on again?
Yeah. and
It's an
small
IT
children
solution.
prevent kind of... Yeah, it's broken, so if I don't turn it on, it's not broken. Yeah.
So-
Right, so what
that makes
have you
sense.
been doing then?
Preparing for Christmas? Actually, I've just remembered I need to turn on a
Oh,
3D
crumbs,
print
do I have
as
to
it
do
happens.
that?
Yeah, apparently.
I've not done anything.
Is anybody going to admit to having up a Christmas tree yet?
Nope.
Oh, I don't know.
Not yet. Don't do it in November.
Don't do it when you've got a cat in the house.
Well, I mean, we have purchased a stocking, one of those little sock things that you hang above the fireplace for Mooncake that's pink and it says "My First Christmas."
Yeah.
Ah.
And we're going to fill it with presents.
And how does this
Yay.
keep the cat off the tree?
Oh, it doesn't. We don't have a tree yet. We've got to get one.
Well, you haven't. No, a cat in the house. That's possibly a bad idea.
It's definitely going to be one of those fake trees, not a real one. And it's definitely going to be one of those ones that's a bit more sturdier. Anyway, this is not about me or Mooncake or Christmas. It's about Little Grey. Flossy was talking to Little Grey.
Who has a Christmas tree in a bag out of the loft as of today, because tomorrow is the first and the children insist. But it's the first tomorrow, it's December, we must put up the Christmas tree.
That's a whole month of Christmas decorations you go through. Maybe more if you keep them
It's
up
a
over
whole-
New Year.
A whole month. And as I was whinging at Flossy
Got the 12
before,
days.
actually, the 12 days of Christmas are from Christmas and then 12 days until Epiphany.
Yeah.
So it's a month of Christmas and another week.
I think Christmas
Yeah.
goes for the start of December
Wow.
right through until February. It's Christmas season.
Well, it's like bonfire night starts in September these days.
Oh,
No,
goodness me.
it genuinely is. In medieval times, I think it went right the way through. It was like months and months was Christmas.
Oh, goodness.
And
I
these
couldn't
religious
handle that.
festivals do go on for
No,
a very
no, mate.
long time.
I think it was quite low key, to be honest, but yeah.
Flossie, don't forget to ask Little Grey about the music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Little Grey, about the music. I don't know what music it means.
I think, did you forget? So, there's a bit of a long-winded story to this, so bear with me. But, basically, as you may or may not know, the sound gear that I borrowed for the Elite Community Meet was borrowed from my local church, and we have a new guy doing some sort of discipleship course, and he's come over from the Netherlands, but he's a music producer. So I've sort of sidled up to him one day. Do you do jingles? So yeah, he's interested in doing it.
So we're going to get a Dutch
but I have no
gospel
idea.
space news theme.
That sounds cool.
Oh, right. Right.
I suspect it might be more electronic than gospel. I mean, I could try and throw electronic
No,
gospel spaceship.
Electronic to be
into-
fine. That's
if we're on par with the Flossy themes, I think we'll be well away.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm half tempted to say to him, hey, why don't you just get all of the samples of the voices of them singing the da-da-da-da-da-da space news and sort of budge it together and see what happens.
That would be pretty cool. Oh, you could do
I
it.
have
You could
no
do
idea.
it
Who's
like
the soundbite?
the beginning of the Star Trekking song, but all of us going da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Do you know, I heard that on Radio 2 the other week. I'm like, the hell's happened?
Damn it, it's made it to Radio 2, you know? It's old when it's on Radio 2.
It goes down to 2.
It goes all the way up to 6.
Really? Wow. I didn't know it went past 4.
Galnet. I mean, yes. I'm not sure if we're being sarcastic or genuine.
No, genuinely, I did not know it went over 4.
You can always tell we're being sarcastic on Lips Move.
Radio 5's a kind of sporty one, isn't it?
I don't know. I know Radio 5 Extra is Test Match Special. That's what you need to know.
That sounds about right.
We're getting off topic here. We were talking
We're
about...
off topic, yes.
Yeah.
Stop making them.
We were talking about Dutch gospel theme tunes.
I know that I keep getting your name wrong. Valkyrius.
That's
Valkyries.
Anyway, Vaguely Various was saying.
So, Volcarius.
So it's an A rather than a U at the start.
Yes, that's true. Otherwise it would be curious.
I was going to say, you can look on your screen, but since your screen's pressed against your ear, unless you can see out your ear.
Bulk curious. I mean,
Well,
you know.
I've got headphones on, but I was.
But you were saying, you were saying, Little Grey. What do you know?
Oh, about your. You keep mentioning that you have an idea for a theme tune. So I mean, maybe we can take the approach of doing it like the Flossy community goals and having a few options to seduce and impress the listeners.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't really do it justice to describe what I had in mind. Arpeggiated synth, it kind of starts a little bit mellow. Then it has this thing, which I definitely can't describe. And then it would be, what I'm going to do is record my voice and then deepen it using whatever software I can find to do so. Then an absolutely unnecessary amount of panning left and right, so it goes like space news.
I like the sound of that.
On Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. You can exactly, if you imagine like the sort of shock rock crappy radio with a bit of sci-fi type synth in the background.
Pew pew.
Retro sci-fi synth.
That's exactly what it means.
I was thinking, so the type of timbre, if you imagine like the tunes in Mass Effect, it would be that kind of that sort of synth.
Okay.
Is now a good time to admit I haven't played Mass Effect?
Oh, well.
No, it's not.
See, I was a Mass Effect devotee, you might say. I waited all the years between each release of the game, and I was so sorely disappointed with the ending of Mass Effect 3 that I now boycott BioWare. I recently
played Mass Effect 3, so
Mass Effect 3 has the best soundtrack.
Thinking of like the I was thinking of like the galaxy map theme from the first one.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
And you cannot tell me that the soundtrack, the Normandy Reborn soundtrack and that video is anything other than warship porn.
The soundtrack on Mass Effect 3, it doesn't matter what song it is, it gives me goosebumps every time I listen to it, and brings me sadness because of what they did to it when EA took over BioWare right at the end of Mass Effect 3, which is why the stuff happened.
Yeah.
I did struggle a bit with Mass Effect 3 first, just because it was a full-on war, but it got good, was the thing. But 2 was good. I started playing at 2 and went back and played 1.
I still say it's one of the best stories ever told in a game.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on there, and a lot of different paths and things carrying across from one game to the next.
It's just a shame that they did what they did.
Yeah.
I recently got the Legendary Edition to play through it all because everyone said, oh, they've added this, they've added that, they've changed this, and you'll be much happier. And, no, they haven't.
Isn't it Legendary Edition? Do they just go on like ModDB and just get the high definition textures?
Pretty much. You play Mass Effect 1 and it looks a little better than the original, but it still doesn't have the graphics and effects that was in the old Mass Effect 3 because it was made from a different era. So it's basically they just put 4K textures. I mean, not even that. I don't even think there were 4K textures. They upped the resolution a bit is about all they did. And it came in a snazzy box with the word Legendary on it.
Legendary hoax. It said hoax on the back.
Is it a bit like waterproof? Anything that comes with waterproof written on it isn't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
To be honest, the only reason I picked it up was because it was on sale at the time, and I went, okay.
So yeah, I've got a massive love-hate relationship with it. I love the game. I think the story is awesome. The gameplay is fantastic. Everything ticks all the boxes, except
the ending for 3.
Yeah, which
there will be no,
But you got to remember that
A, B or C ending. No, we got RGB instead.
That was like, I don't know what, 6 years of my life waiting for each game to come out and playing them over and over and over.
I've not even played that latest one that took them about 7 years to come up with. So many people told me it was crap, and I just never played it.
No, Andromeda is not crap. It's
right.
It's not brilliant.
Yeah, but
it's not shit.
Good. I might give it a go at some point then.
The problem is that it was it's the first game after after Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
And B, they tried to do a lot of. I think this was the first they were trying to do with the Frostbite engine. So trying to figure out how to work that fucked them because that took an age. So they couldn't actually spend enough time building the bloody game.
Yeah.
But it had some good bits in it. The antagonists are actually, oh dear fucking god, ooh, when you actually find out about what they do. And they've got a couple of good characters. I mean, there's one that I wanted to throttle, but there's another one that I went, no, you.
I take it that when you wanted to throttle was the Asari.
Of course not. I would never want to throttle the Asari.
Right.
No,
okay.
I'd stand off and hit and stand off and fire a cane at them just to be sure.
Fair enough.
That was actually one of the things I did so love about Mass Effect 2 was the cane, because
don't remember that one.
Big bada boom, really.
Yeah. I played Mass Effect.
It was essentially you were shooting a miniature nuclear missile out of a gun, and you only got like 1 or 2 shots out of it, but it would literally annihilate everything, including bosses.
Wasn't that in Fallout?
No, that was in Mass Effect.
Yeah. Oh, you're a Thresher Maw. Okay. I have a cane. I think you charged one as well.
I think you were supposed to fire it at things like Reapers and things, weren't you? Supposed to fire it right up into the middle.
Oh, right at the end, maybe.
Yeah.
But largely, to be honest, at the end, I was certainly in most of my games. It's been I was wandering around with a fully uprated Widow with armor-piercing ammo on it, and going, okay, I will get a couple of shots off, and this is going to hurt you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember what weapons I used, and it's been so long.
I played through the entire game without using any weapons, using a psionic.
Biotic.
Yeah. I'm going to say Guile.
Would you say using a
Biotic,
psionic?
they call it.
Psionic. I can't remember.
Biotic.
Adept.
They call it biotic.
Biotic, that's it. Yeah. Psychic powers.
I wouldn't have remembered it, but only for the antibiotic joke.
Yeah, I was about to do that. Thanks.
Sorry, chicks.
We could try have a go at the uncle biotic joke, but that probably doesn't work now.
Right.
Anyway.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hey, why was the Krogan thrown out of the bar?
Jeff.
Why was the what?
Why was the Krogan thrown out of the bar?
I don't know.
Why was the Krogan thrown out of the bar?
Because he wrecks the place.
Oh God.
Oh.
Right.
I see. For anyone who doesn't or hasn't played Mass Effect, they've got no clue.
Don't get it.
I've got my hand in the air.
Yeah. I played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for about 2.5 years.
Oh, the multiplayer for Mass Effect 3 was really good fun.
Yeah.
They stopped it in the Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but especially when they brought in the Krogan characters that you could play, especially the Battle Master.
Oh yeah. I remember them now. I like the Geth that you could play.
Oh,
there's
you
a Geth
play You could play a Geth Prime.
Yeah.
I was partial to a Quarian engineer.
Oh yeah.
But no, I tended to go to. It was in the latter stages the Geth Juggernaut or the Krogan Warlord. Because one, you basically couldn't. It was really hard to kill you off.
Yeah.
Or two, you just walked up to people and hit them with a massive fucking hammer.
I used to do solo with the Geth Juggernaut, because you'd put all these things on these things that sat on his shoulder that I think gave him extra armour and things like that.
Oh yeah.
And then you stuffed it up his damage, his melee damage, and then what I'd do is take a shotgun with a thing on it that did like 25% extra damage, and you could just grab things and kill them immediately. And the Banshees couldn't pick you up because you were too big.
So, just for the record, Woolies has just said, "Evening all, been a while. Hope all you wonderful truckers are well." Mug.
Hello, Woolies.
Keeping ages, Woolies.
Anyway, Little Grey. We got a bit off topic there. We're on Mass Effect now.
Yeah. So the point was the electronic sounds I was planning to use would be like the Mass Effect soundtrack.
Right. Yes.
That was the best deviation ever. That was great.
We have been known to ramble a bit on this show, and usually off topic.
Not us.
Always
I
us.
can change the soundtrack excellenceness if we wanted to go down that route.
Excellenceness.
Bastion and Transistor and Hades. The soundtracks for those are just phenomenal. Like, completely independently listenable.
Well, if you like the music in Mass Effect, I don't see how we can judge your musical taste. I think whatever you decide.
Well, I cannot say. It's unknown. I haven't played it, and it's another one of those games that if I played it, Elite would suffer because of the amount of time I fear it may suck out of my already limited time existence.
See, I know exactly how you feel. I have about a dozen games on the go at the moment, which means limited time for each.
If anybody has worked out how to play Elite in fits and starts, do let me know, because I am not managed.
I do that. I only play Elite in dribs and drabs. Usually it's when there's a Hutton event on.
There's an event on now.
No, like, if we're all going to take a look at a Thargoid thing or something underground, or if we're all going to do a race somewhere, because I did a race. I can't remember.
I have an idea about a race.
There's a few events coming up, isn't there?
But
next month.
For general play, I generally don't just log in, and at least I haven't in a while. Normally these days, I generally just log in when there's something happening or somebody wants me there. You know?
Yeah.
I only log in once a week.
I have a proposal for an idea. I would need help getting it off of the ground, or people can run with it if I'm unavailable. The Hutton Orbital Triathlon. So, I don't know if there's anywhere suitable for this. But
There's probably loads of places suitable. You just have to pick one.
You'd have to do something like you'd park up your SRV somewhere, and you would have to run from wherever it's decided. Run to your SRV. You'd then have to drive around a city or something, and then you would have to get into your ship and then fly the an assigned course or something like that.
So you probably need checkpoints.
That's like Le Mans, but twice. That's, you know how they run into the cars? It's doing that, but then after the car, you run to your ship in the car. It's like doing it twice.
Yeah.
Well, instead of running and then swimming and then cycling, it's running, then driving, then flying. You could add a pew-pew aspect into it as well if you wanted to go down the Winter Olympics biathlon. I don't know how you'd do that.
Yeah, you could have an actual race to. Yeah, that would work.
There are a few events coming up over the next few Saturdays, isn't there?
What is there?
Yeah, what's coming up?
Let me just check a sec. Go to our page events.
Because I avoid Facebook mostly.
Oh, right. Yeah, in fact, it's actually calling it a triathlon. There's 3 triathlons on the 9th, 16th and 23rd of December.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be as good as...
Contact Rincewind about that. He's Rincewind Cymru. He's apparently doing it, so...
I take it back, that will be a good event.
So, yeah, if you have a look on Facebook, there's 3 events on there.
You know, I know a lot of people
Clearly
who don't use Facebook. I
don't know why.
I wonder if there's a way we could, get that information out without, to all the people who don't rely on, like maybe...
Yeah, people who don't use Facebook.
Yeah, maybe we could ask like a radio station to broadcast it or something.
Yeah.
There's the Frontier Forum, if that helps.
I never look on the Frontier
Because that's the only one you use.
Discord.
I don't do forums. Too much salt on forums usually.
Well, not that bad. More information and salt.
Yeah. Although I normally hide in like the Thargoid waterhead, so.
I'm using the CG.
Anyway, Little Grey.
Yeah,
I think I'd probably, unless you want me to tell you what I've been doing during the radio show, making a Christmas tree themed costume. It's 2 bits of cardboard cut out like a Christmas tree with gaffer tape stripes on it. That's going to be my
right.
And but the theme is
Christmas
or 3, Christmas 3 or both. And I've decided to go dyslexic and go as a Christmas 3 tree. However,
oh God.
This gets worse. I have taken the word 3 and written it down and then crossed out the letter R instead of H because suddenly I can't spell it.
It's a Christmas the?
Well, yeah, Christmas. The
unto
Christmas
unto thee.
Right. Okay.
So
Christmas,
I'm say,
the.
For the Mog.
Okay, right.
Wise choice.
For the Mog.
For the Mug. So that just leaves the radio presenters, and we can do this really quick by saying, I'm all right, Mia, you all right?
I'm all right. For the Mug.
Who says I want to be quick?
You don't want to be quick. Have you got stuff to say, Flossy?
Now you've put her on the spot.
No, I might have, yeah.
Oh, Flossy, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Well, I helped out in Fort Mug. I did some ground combat.
Oh, nice.
I tried to get some better gear for it and taxied around various bases. And at one point, when I was leaving a station in some rings, a taxi driver made 9 attempts to jump to Eo Procol Centauri.
9 attempts?
Which was on the wrong side of the planet. He kept crashing into the rings.
God.
So I thought I was there for the night. But finally jumped successfully after I'd offered to take over and advised him to steer away from the rings. Anyway.
Did you tell him I wouldn't go that way this time of night?
How long does it take to initiate 9 jumps? It was about 1 a minute, I think, so about 10 minutes.
That's not that long, then.
It seemed a lot longer.
I don't go south of the rings this time of night.
I thought I was going to have to go for stuck recovery. Anyway, he managed to get away in the end. Done a bit of Warcraft.
The Apex taxes then?
What's that?
Can you take control of the
No,
Apex?
I can't. No, I was just joking. I just typed in chat.
See, everyone else went with the story.
I was hopeful then.
I was just typing in the local chat and saying, "Do you want me to take over?" Yeah. So anyway, finally got away. Did some Warcraft as well.
Have you been enjoying the 19th anniversary?
Oh yes, yeah. Been catching up some of the lower levels, the level 50s.
Good way to do that is the daily quest in the Caverns of Time. You just sit them there every day, log them in, do a quest, and get a massive boost of XP, and then log them out and do the next one.
Doing what?
Well, there's a quest in the Caverns of Time.
Ah, yeah, but these are in the Caverns of... Oh, Caverns of Time. No, that's not... I thought you meant up in thingies.
It's from
Caverns of Time, that's... Yeah, I know what you mean.
From the 19th anniversary. I've got like 50 characters on World of Warcraft. So, and a lot of them aren't level 70. There's only like, I don't know, 6 or 7 that are level 70. So during the 19th, the anniversary each year, I will send them all down to the Caverns of Time, plonk them right in front of this daily quest thing, because all you have to do is answer a lore question, which is super easy.
Oh, right.
So log them in, answer the lore question.
Look at that.
If you're below level 10, you get a whole level just by doing that one quest, because it's such a boost in XP.
Right.
Log them out, and then do the next one, and then I do all 50 characters.
Oh goodness!
And I do that every day, while the events.
I thought it was bad enough doing all my characters in here on the 12 Arcs of Christmas.
But I mean, it doesn't take long. When you're just doing that one quest, and it's a super easy quest where you just answer a question, log in, answer a question, take the XP, log out. And you do that like 50 times. It only takes, I don't know, an hour, not even that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, let's have a look at that. Yeah.
And
other than that,
yeah.
I've had mods last few days.
Oh no, what's wrong?
Oh, just bad cold,
Oh no. Are you dosed up?
I was so bad yesterday. I didn't even go out for my usual Wednesday night out.
No.
So I must have been bad.
Do you have a slow cooker?
A slow, yes. Well, we've got a ninja that does slow cooking as well as everything else.
Get about 4 lemons, yeah. About half a cup of honey. What was the recipe again? Half a cup of honey, 4 lemons. Oh crap!
Space kitchen.
All the stuff you normally take for
honey and lemon.
Honey and lemon, yeah. And bung it into a crock pot, fill it with water, and then just leave it on during the course of the day.
No whiskey.
And what it does is the steam goes through your house.
Oh,
and you can just
diffuser.
Yeah, and you can just take a cup of it whenever you like as well, and it's like a hot lemony honey drink.
All right.
Very nice.
Oh well, I'll look at that.
Ginger wine and whiskey.
Ginger, that was it. It's got a chunk. Put a chunk of ginger in it. Honey.
Yeah.
Lemons.
But what a whole bottle?
No, like a 1 root of ginger. Yeah. Take the skin off. Bung it in the pot. Take about 4 lemons. Give them a squeeze. Bung them in the pot. Take about half a cup of honey. Bung it in the pot. Then just fill it up with water. And not only do you have a soothing drink throughout the day for your nose and throat and everything, but also it works like an atomizer where it just steams your house a little.
All right. Oh, we get enough of that. Steam.
You just put it in the crock pot on low and leave the lid off.
Right. Okay. I'll have a think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I have a
Thank
feeling
you.
this is going to end up in the credits at some point?
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah. Okay, then, well, that's it from me. So, for the mug.
For the mug. Chicks, you got anything to say?
No. For the mug.
For the mug. Well, I guess that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. So, anyone want to do the klaxon?
I did the last time.
Anyone else?
I can't this time.
Will I do it again this week then?
Yeah, do it again this week.
Okay.
You ready?
La 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 la. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, a big thank you to all of our listener.
For your patience.
Patience, time, understanding. We'll probably see you next week, hopefully. In the meantime... For that mug.
For that mug.
For the mug.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a launch pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. No part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hutton, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everybody's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Seamless.